Hello guys, you guys are on Healthy to Hearty. I'm Paula and today I will be showing you guys a recipe. So today's recipe, before I start, if you guys hear tap 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 tap, I do have a puppy. His name is Rocky.
Yep,
there he is.
Rocky. And I'm the mystery man behind the camera.
Yep.
And he's about to be 1 year old next week.
So anyways, so today's recipe is going to be a twist to the Zuppa Tuscana from Olive Garden. As you know, that one has potato. This one, however, will have cauliflower. So I'm doing a keto twist to that recipe. So it's going to be a keto twist to it. However, if you are not on a keto diet, you would like to keep it carby, that's perfectly fine. You're going to just switch from cauliflower to potatoes. And those potatoes, you'll have to chop into thin rounds, okay? But for now, we're doing cauliflower. All the ingredients are going to be the same. So I like using bone broth. Chicken. I like chicken. If you want vegetable, you can use vegetable, whatever kind you need. So I always get more than I need. So
use what she uses because I tasted this one and it is amazing.
So I might use both depending on how I see the liquid amount to meat and stuff into the thing. So I always add as I go. So now you're gonna need heavy whipping cream. Since this is a keto recipe, instead of milk, I'm using the heavy whipping cream because it is thicker and it has no carbs, as opposed to milk. I'm going to be using sausage. So I'm going to show you guys how to break this out of its little casing, okay? So sausage, 1 pound of sausage. And since we need protein, I bought some ground pork to add to this. So you don't need it. However, we want a higher protein amount, so we're gonna add that into it. Kale, 1 thing of kale, a little bit of onion, and then seasonings. I'll show you guys the seasonings as I put them in. So pepper, salt, paprika to make cayenne pepper to make it spicy, and a tad bit of oregano is going to go into it. So let's get started. Alright guys, so what you're going to do is I went ahead and bought the cauliflower for florets already washed and in a bag, only because it's less work. But however, you can buy the whole head of cauliflower, but you're going to have to clean it, you're going to have to cut more into it. It's going to take a lot more time. So what you want to do is, you're going to get the florets, right? They're going to be like this. They're going to be like that. What you're going to do is, you're going to cut them down. You're going to cut them down to look more like this size, okay? So what you're going to do is, you're going to take the ones that have the little butts on them still. You're going to cut them off. So what I was going to show you is you're going to have to cut these off because these are going to be too big to crumble. So you can still use them, just cut them smaller. So that's why if you buy them already washed and everything, it'll save you time because you have to get them down to about this size. So cut the butts off, right? You can use them or you can discard them. It's up to you. And then these, you're just gonna simply break. This is a good size, right? So you want them about this size, okay? Just put them into a container as you do that. So some of them, when you buy them already, they're already gonna be in the smaller pieces. All you're gonna do is just throw them in there. Just if they look a little big. Okay, so once you're done chopping up your florets, this is what it should roughly look like. Small, not too small, because remember, you're still going to cook them down, and then you're going to smash them. So these are perfect size, okay?
And how much are you using?
We're using 2 bags.
And how much is 2 bags?
That 2 bags is 24 ounces of cauliflower. So 24 ounces of cauliflower is going to be used in this recipe. Here I'm going to be using 1 pound exactly of spicy sausage. This is pork sausage. They do have chicken. You guys can use whatever kind you like. However, I'm going to be using spicy Italian pork sausage. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it out of the casing. If you can find it without the casing, perfect. If you can't, then we're just going to remove the casing from it.
Well, the problem with that is we can only give you the macros for what you're making.
Yeah. So these macros are based on what I'm making. And remember, I'm not a dietitian. I'm just someone trying to eat healthy and tasty.
But she is an expert on taste buds.
So what you do is you cut it. You're going to make a little cut on it. Okay? You're just going to take it. And you're going to remove the casing. You're just going to do like so. And take the next one. And so forth. So as much as you're going to use. Just remove the casing. So this is going to be the first thing you cook. It's going to be the sausage. So I'm using a non-stick skillet so that I don't have to add extra oil, because these are going to release fat and oil. So my non-stick pot is already heated up, so like a medium high heat. We're going to cook these down. That's going to be the first thing you cook. Once you have your sausage browned up like so, see that? Nice and brown. It's ready for you to take it out and put it aside. So you're just going to take it out into a container, a bowl, whatever you want to use. Take it out, put it off to the side. So now in the same pot, after I took out the sausage, I'm going to throw in this 93 lean ground pork. Just going to throw it in there. You can cut. So once your pork is browned up like this, it's ready to be set aside too. I think it'll fit.
So make sure you get a container you can put it into or something.
Make sure it all fits. So remember, using the same pot for everything. So now it's time to throw in your cauliflower.
The good part about the keto, use the same fat.
Yep, because you know the sausage created a little coating already to the pot. Okay, so you're gonna saute this for a little bit. Keep an eye on it though. Keep an eye on it. With the cauliflower, you have to really keep an eye on it because you don't want it to burn. You just want it to saute a bit and start, you know, becoming a little more tender before we throw in our seasonings, okay? So keep an eye on it. So as you see, now that I've been sauteing this, it's going to start turning into like a lighter color, like more cooked color. as you can tell right there. Okay, I'm gonna throw 2 ounces of onion, chopped onion in there. Onion gives it such a fabulous flavor. I love onion. If you don't like onion, don't use it. You don't need it.
But as I said in the beginning,
there's so much more flavor though.
I can't help you with the macros if you don't make it the same. So you will have to figure that out yourself. Macros for everything will be at the very end.
Yeah.
Right?
So, you see that? You see that? So we'll give you the macros as to what we used, okay? Everything that we use, that's what's going to be the macros in it. If you want to make changes to it, if you want to omit things, if you want to add things, then that's on you. That is your macros.
Yep. So.
And also the taste is going to be different.
Yeah. If you want delicious, follow Paula.
Always follow Paula.
Except I don't listen half the time.
So I'm going to roughly tell you the amount of seasoning that I'm adding, right? But the salt will be to your taste. So I usually start with a little bit of salt, taste it. If it needs more, I add more. Everyone's salt levels of taste are so different. For example, I go over to my sister's house. She adds salt to everything, even though to me it tastes good already. So I'm using about half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper because I want it spicy. I threw in about half a teaspoon of pepper as well, and about 3 pinches of oregano. Just gonna throw it in there. If I feel that it's not spicy enough for me, I'm gonna add more. If I feel that the flavor is lacking, I'm gonna add a little bit more pepper. So you need to just keep tasting it, okay? So if you want more spicy, add more. If you don't want as spicy, don't add it. It all comes down to your taste, but let me tell you, this is delicious and spicy. So this recipe is going to be spicy because it has spicy sausage and cayenne pepper. So it's going to be spicy. Yum, yum, yummy. So we're now going to throw in our broth. Oh, we're for sure going to need both. So for sure we're going to need both containers. That is...
Well, good thing I added all the macros for both.
Yep. Good thing. Once you have all of the chicken broth in the thingamajig, turn up the heat so that it can start simmering, and you need it to come to a boil. So when it starts coming to a boil, it means you can start smashing it. And you're going to need something like this. If you don't have a bean smasher or a potato smasher, whatever you want to call it, I use this for beans and sometimes mashed potatoes.
So if they don't have that, then what?
If you don't have it and you have a thick, like, plastic cup, you can use a plastic cup and just, like, use it. My mom used to do that with our beans, so... Gotta do what you gotta do with what you got.
Stick a plastic cup in the soup.
Basically, if you have a thick plastic cup or a thick glass cup, I don't know what you're gonna do, but you're gonna need it in order to not have such big chunks of the cauliflower. Because you see how they're still kind of big. You're gonna start like breaking them down so that it becomes like very thin. You'll see. So right now you see them. They're still big. I'll show you guys in a bit once it starts boiling how they start breaking down, because they're not soft yet. They're still hard. Even though they looked sauteed and translucent, they still need to be cooked down more. Okay, so I forgot to tell you guys, I put the lid on so that it could help it trap the heat and boil a little quicker. So now you see it boiling. This pot kind of sucks, so it kind of tends to boil more into one side. But if you have good pots, they'll boil evenly. So this is where you want to start smashing them. Okay? You want them to break down. So it's going to take a while. So just every so often, check on them. Let them keep cooking. You're just going to press down. And they're going to start breaking up. We can't be friends no more. We're breaking up. I'm going to show you guys how it's practically all broken down. It's very small. See how it's disintegrating? But it's going to keep cooking. So once you get it to this level of smush, you see how it's like very mushed? You're going to start seeing it crumble.
So what did you do to get it to stop boiling though?
I lowered the heat.
Oh, okay.
So lower the heat if you don't want it to keep cooking so fast, okay? So my heat is lowered. I'm now going to return this sausage and pork back in. So be careful because it splashes. Okay, so just return it. I overly filled this, so don't do that. All that craziness is Rocky getting extra crazy because he smells this deliciousness.
Too bad you don't get none.
Okay, so now everything is back in. Let it quickly simmer for a bit. Let it start simmering again. And by simmering, it's going to have little bubbles around, okay? So let it cook a bit. Let the flavors mix in together. Okay, so now that it's simmered together, it'll look like this. Okay, see? It's a lot more broken down.
Looks so good.
To make it creamy, we're going to throw in 3/4 of heavy cream. So it's going to be about 360 milliliters. So throw it in there. Now you have to let it come to a boil. So up the heat. Put on the lid. Now it'll come to a boil. Okay, so once it does this, now it's extra simmery. Put down the heat to low. And we're putting in 180 grams of kale. Well, now it's going to be a little less.
I probably shouldn't have stuffed it in that thing, huh?
No, now it's all falling everywhere. Oh, okay, just throw it in there. You're gonna cook it down anyways. Push it down.
And hopefully you have a bigger pot.
I know, this is the biggest one we have. Okay, so your soup is gonna look like this. See how the cauliflower just like becomes, I don't know, what does it become? Like very broken potato, basically. You can't even taste the cauliflower. So
we brought the person we were talking about that said it was so good last time.
It is good. It's amazing. I recommend it.
So how much do we owe you for this live? Just sign the check.
Right, exactly.
Just kidding.
she ate it the next day after I cooked it. So I think that the more it sits, I feel like the next day it tastes way better. Like it thickens up or something.
And what were you saying about the spiciness?
It wasn't as spicy today.
So what would you do? If they want
Add
spicy?
more cayenne pepper to it. I didn't add enough because my little measuring thing broke. So I
Alright,
have
so
to.
go ahead and end it.
So I hope you guys try it out. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.